Question number 12, Catherine Delahunty.
My question is to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and asks, will he follow the example of Australia and change the government's position to support the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Australia has recently reviewed its stance on the Declaration. An announcement on its new approach is expected on Friday. We will look at the way the Australian government interprets the Declaration and see whether its interpretation may be applicable in New Zealand, but I cannot comment until we have seen what the Australians are saying about their support.
Catherine Delahunty.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker. How can the government reconcile supporting the flying of a Māori flag on Waitangi Day while still prevaricating on recognising the collective human rights of Māori affirmed in the UN Declaration, or is the government all symbolism and no action?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, in fact, I think New Zealand in general has worked hard in the last 30 years to recognise the rights of Indigenous people. This government has been working very hard to recognise the rights of Indigenous people, whether it's flying of a flag on Auckland Harbour Bridge, working so collaboratively with the Māori Party, or ensuring that the Treaty of Waitangi Tribunal and the whole Waitangi settlement process is properly funded. They're all good examples of us working for the rights of Indigenous people.
The Honourable Dr Michael Cullen.
That the government's position to date has essentially been that if the declaration can be taken to have significant meaning, that meaning cannot actually be enforced by New Zealand government, therefore we have determined not to sign. But if the declaration can be interpreted to not have any great significant meaning, then we might be prepared to sign it.
The Honourable Prime Minister.
So on behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, yes. I mean, the declaration is not legally binding. It's not legally binding. It's an aspirational goal. And actually, I happen to think New Zealand's done a lot for the Indigenous rights of people. But let's have a look and see what the Australians do on Friday and what caveats they put around their support.
Catherine Delahunty.
To the Minister, is it right to prevaricate on the recognition of both an aspirational goal and the recognition of the collective human rights of Māori when this government is dependent on the support of the Māori Party?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, we're not prevaricating. Firstly, I think it will be interesting to see if the Australians make an announcement on Friday what caveats they put around that support for the declaration. As I said earlier, it's an aspirational, non-binding declaration. From this government's point of view, we take the rights of Indigenous people seriously and we're working hard to advance those.
We come now to questions to members, and the first question stands in the name of the Honourable Trevor. Point of order. Catherine Delahunty.
I'd like to table a document. I'd like to table the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People.
Leavers sought to table the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. Is there any objection to that public document being tabled? There is no objection. We come